Alright guys, welcome, and today we're going to make a homemade water bottle lava lamp. So as you can see here, these are some of the materials you might want to have nearby. There's some things I want to point out about these. One is you can do different size water bottles, soda bottles, whatever you'd like in order to put it in. I use these glass containers. I used cups earlier. But if you want to be able to save it, reuse it, good old soda bottle is good. I like to actually leave the lids off when I'm doing it. I drop the Alka-Seltzers in and watch it. And then when I store it, I twist the lid on. Another thing to note, the bottles are great for cleanup because you do not want to pour the oil down into your drain, down the sink. It can clog it, it can do some bad stuff. So it's better to just, when you're done, screw the lid on and either keep it, or if you want to get rid of it, you can just throw it away or get rid of it that way. That way it doesn't clog your sinks. I used the gel food coloring. That's just all I could find at the store I went to. Regular food colorings just as well. I usually add the food coloring just to the water. Don't add it to the oil. I mean, you could try it, I guess. I don't know. I think the gel food coloring at least likes to just sink down to the bottom, mix with the water. So that's kind of what I plan. The darker colors like blue or green, you can see them a lot clearer than some of the others. But it also depends too on what type of oil you're using. If you're using the canola oil, which is what I did the cups in, it's a lighter, it's almost clearer than this vegetable oil I have here. They both worked really good for the base, but I don't know, the colors seem to stand out a little bit more to me by using this clearer oil. So if, that might be something to consider. I did try adding glitter in as well. The problem with the glitter, as you can see over here, is it just sits on top, but you are welcome to try glitter. I got some of those water Orbeez bead things to try. Haven't done that yet. I'll have to find out what that does. I just got the general Alka-Seltzer brand tablets. These are what they look like. You'll probably have to break these in half when you put them into the bottles. So that's kind of what you need though. Basically the minimum of what you need is you need a bottle or a container to hold it. You'll need water, which isn't pictured here obviously, and you'll need oil. The food coloring helps the water stand out. The Alka-Seltzer is what gives it the fizz that it needs in order for the water to rise up. Alright, so we got our bottle here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start making ourselves our lava lamp. So I'm going to take the lid off. I'm just going to kind of set it off to the side, that way I have it for later when I want to clean up and, either save my lava lamp or, dispose of it without destroying anything. So usually when I like to do this, I like to use this during a lesson on density, and I can show, if you actually, in the earlier clips, I usually put the water in first, and then the food coloring, and then the oil. But you can actually put the oil in first, and then do the water and food coloring separate, mix them up, and then you can actually watch the water and food coloring sink down to the bottom. So that's kind of cool to help kind of show the idea of density, how the liquid with the higher density is going to sink down, in which case that's the water, which has a density of about 1, and then it will sink down. So we have our bottle here. I'm going to add some water real quick. Alright, so just to kind of help demonstrate this, that way it doesn't really matter which way you put it in. I'm going to go ahead and just get a styrofoam cup. You don't have to do it this way. And I'm just going to add my water into that styrofoam cup. Okay, so my water, I got that in there. I'm going to make it, let's go blue. So I'm just going to add some of that food coloring into my cup. Because this food coloring is kind of that gel stuff, you can kind of see it kind of floats on the top there a little bit. Doesn't like to mix up as quick. So I'm just going to stir it with a straw or something. That way we get the nice blue water in there. Now we might not end up using all of that, but we do have it. So we have our bottle, we have our food coloring, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add the oil. I'm going to use this lighter, clearer oil because it pops out a little better. Now, you want to be really careful pouring this in. You don't want it to go spilling everywhere. Honestly, I should probably just make a funnel right now. You can buy a funnel. You can take a piece of paper and roll it up to make a funnel. So I'm going to run out of this oil, so I'm going to have to use the other oil too. But see, got that in there. Nice and easy, no mess. That's great. Okay, however, I will be back because I'm going to get a piece of paper to make a funnel. Alright, so I have a piece of paper now. So I'm going to make a funnel. The easiest way to do that is kind of take one of these corners. Oh, you can't see it right there. Just kind of take one of these corners and just kind of start rolling it up. I am struggling here. Rolling it up into kind of like a cone shape. You can put a piece of tape there to hold it if you want. I'll kind of twist it a little bit. And we have a bigger part on the top, smaller part there. And then as you can see, mine doesn't quite fit in there, so I just kind of come on the bottom here. And just keep twisting it down until it does fit in there. Okay, and there we go. Now I got my funnel in there, so I can pour my oil. Now don't fill it all the way up to the top. You want to leave a little bit of room just in case you put the lid on while it's reacting. You also still need to add water in. So I have my funnel, I have my bottle, I have my oil, and this is probably the part where I dump it all over the counter. Let's find out. I would honestly cut the funnel a little bit shorter, but this will work for now. So as you can see, just pour it right on in there. Okay, that's probably good. I spilt a little, but all right, so we got our oil in there. Just gonna throw my funnel away now because I'm much more confident with the water. So, okay, so we have our oil in there. Now you'll notice I left about this much. This is about how much water I like to put into a bottle. Just, you don't want to have no water, or you're not gonna get a cool effect. And you don't want half the thing to be water, or you won't get to see all the cool lava stuff you want to see. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of add this in there. And you'll see the oil's in there first. If this is your first time doing it, you might want to just do the water first and then add the oil after. But we're going to go ahead and just pour that on in there. You'll see it starts to bead up. And it looks kind of cool. But you'll notice all this water is just going right to the bottom, and that's just because the water is denser than the oil. It has a higher density. And I'll do a video later talking about mass and volume and density and all that kind of stuff. But you can see we still have some straggler bubbles in there, but that is our lava lamp. The water has gone down to the bottom. It's still kind of bubbled up right now. If you add the water first, you won't see as much of this bubbling on the bottom. It'll just kind of be like a water layer and then an oil layer. But this will work. And now, and then if you want, you can always get a flashlight, stick it on underneath there when you do it, and you get a much more, lava lamp type effect. We won't worry about that yet though. But now this Alka-Seltzer tablet's too big to put in there. at once, so I throw those in there. And it's going to start bubbling. And then now, just because I can, and there you go. We have a simple water, oil, food coloring, and Alka-Seltzer lava lamp. Now, it isn't, you can't really reuse it unless you add more Alka-Seltzer tablets, because once the chemical reaction takes place, it uses up all of the energy it's going to make to bring those bubbles up to the top. And once there's no more chemical reaction going on, you just throw in another tablet and you'll be good to go. The only other thing I probably would suggest not doing is this. Because as that air bubbles are going up, that air wants a place to escape, and I've locked it in. Now, it's already kind of reacted at this point, so it's going to take a really long time for it to build any pressure right there. So just leave the lid off until you're ready to dispose of it. So feel free to give it a try. Like I said, when you're done, don't pour the oil down your drain. Just cap it and throw it away or get rid of it some other way.